Nevada's Republican governor defines GOP and signs bill mandating trans health care coverage. Nevada's Republican governor, Joe Lombardo, has signed a bill requiring all insurance companies and Medicaid to cover gender-affirming care, including surgery for both kids and adults. The law also bans insurance companies from engaging in certain discrimination based on gender identity or expression. There are no religious exemptions for businesses or healthcare providers. All employers are required to adhere to the standards of care from the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. Lombardo has not published a press release about signing the bill, nor has he tweeted about it, but he told reporters that all the bill does is mandate the insurance industry to continue following existing state policy. According to the Nevada Globe, the bill passed along party lines without a single Republican voting in its favor. Some believe Lombardo signed the bill in hopes it would sway Democrats to support funding for the construction of a new Major League Baseball stadium on the Las Vegas Strip for the A's, who are planning a move to the city from Oakland, California. A 2020 report from USA Today said Nevada passed 34 plus laws to protect LGBTQ plus people between 2009 and 2019, and has no laws that deny LGBTQ plus people rights. Not surprisingly, it also has one of the highest percentages of LGBTQ plus people in the country. Okay, children, do you want the jokes first or the serious side first? No. First off, let's call a win a win.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I am not happy that any governor has to sign a bill to keep the status quo, but a win is a win. That being said, as I read this just now and last night and this afternoon as I was prepping, someone had to check me for a fever because I swore I was hallucinating. But let's also keep in mind, you might want to get that little fan ready. Okay. Let's keep in mind this is Nevada. Prostitution is legal. I want to know what rent person threatened him, and can I bear their children?
Well, you know what I'll say? I'll say, a little bit of money goes a long way in appropriation dollars. And so holding back funding for a Major League Baseball stadium is one way to get the Republican to do a little something. Unfortunately, we can't do that here in Florida because they have a supermajority. But in Nevada, that might have been what pushed him over the edge. So, give the Democrats something, give a little crumbs, a few crumbs. In this case, a big thing. It's a big win. And give them the stadium in exchange. So maybe if we had politicians more willing to do that. I mean, I know it seems a little weird, it's the pay for play type situation, but right now that
I go back to something our sainted Cyndi Lauper said back in the 80s. She actually sang this song, "Money Changes Everything." I think she's right.
Well, that's how we can really make a difference is with our with our money, not supporting these places or these businesses or certain people. But I think the great thing about this story is that somehow this will resonate with other states. Whether we think it will or not, it will. It will eventually resonate with Florida. For example, the Supreme Court in Tennessee just ruled that drag ban was unconstitutional. And that's a very, quite conservative state, and they were pushing hard for it, and it was all over the news. And now it's not really going to happen, right? So as far as I understand, I thought that was a great precedent to show how ridiculous this is and how we're all going to waste time legislating and taking this all the way to our Supreme Court to realize that it's unconstitutional. So it is, I think, a win, and hopefully gets a lot of publicity, and we see it resonate.
Question. Different perspectives, young people and not young people. How do you
Oh my God.
How do you feel about the fact that he didn't publish this on a social media? A part of me is like,
he's avoiding the Republican
Was
backlash.
it cowardice, or was it like politicians need to stay off social media and stay in?
Also, you got to understand, you got to keep your base happy. So if it takes, you got to be diplomatic in
Here's the thing.
politics, right?
They're
So
still going to censure him.
they're still going to censure him.
Number one, they're
Yeah.
still going to censure him. And number two, I actually looked at a map. The longest piece of border Nevada has is with California. And we all know California is a reasonably safe state with Gavin Newsom, who just, by the way, showed up at the Disneyland Pride Night.
Ooh,
Yes, he did. I saw the videotape.
I believe you.
Nevada doesn't want potential tax revenue ending up in California.
Yeah. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Well, and listen, we see over and over again, time after time, where these parties are voting along party lines. Okay, there is no bipartisan anything happening. Okay, and I think that that's also another reason why the people of the United States, all of us here in this country, with our voting powers, we're over it. We're done. We're fed up with this two-party system that's not working, because it's not two parties working together. It's two parties working against each other. And what we're seeing here in Nevada is concessions. You have to make concessions. And I think that's what you were speaking into, Elijah, is being able to negotiate look, you got to give a little, we got to give a little, and we have to come to the table. Whether we agree, we don't have to agree on everything, guys. We don't have to agree on everything, but because the greater good is more important than any one of us individually, we have to learn how to align. And that's a word I'd like to introduce to our viewers today, alignment, okay? And that's very distinct from positioning, okay? And that is what we are seeing in American politics right now. So I'm glad to see some concessions being made in Nevada.
And I wouldn't put it past any politician to maybe say, hey, everyone in my party voted against it, it's going to pass to the Democrats. That'll give me the excuse I need to sign it and make it go away, and you guys get to run for re-election and say, I had nothing to do with this. Just put that out there. It's always a possibility.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ+ evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.